Have you ever driven over a highway bridge and couldn't help but look below? Or stood on a shoreline's rocky ridge just to watch the water flow? And count yourself as one of the few with a different set of dreams, the kind that keeps you up at night, 'cause you can't wait to get to that stream. It's more than a river. It's more than the water flowing or where it's going. It's the grip on the paddle and the shit in the saddle, the V in the boulders and the lean in the shoulders. When you reach for the eddy, it doesn't get better than this. Yes, it's more, so much more than a river.
Hey everybody, welcome. We are live tonight on Facebook, Substack, and YouTube with Cross Currents Leadership. We're doing this for just 15 minutes every Sunday and Wednesday in January and February. And the whole point is that we're talking to experts across paddle sports and outdoor recreation to help us level up all the things that we're doing for outdoor leadership this year. We're just getting those golden nuggets and using them to build in excellence into everything we do this year. We originally set this up to be just for January and February to help take advantage of this winter season, to become more informed, but y'all have responded so strongly. It's been so amazing, and the experts want to talk to you. So we're actually starting to schedule a couple episodes in March, so stay tuned for more of that. Use that link in the show notes to check the schedule. Make sure you don't miss your favorite speaker. I know we won't go into warm weather paddling, but we may do this for a little longer if you all are watching and if people want to talk to you. So we'll keep it going as long as the demand is there. And in the meantime, I want to give a special thanks to all of you who have chosen to upgrade your free subscription in Substack to a paid subscription to support the work that we're doing. It warms my heart that you think that the work we're doing here is important and that you want to support it. Signing up for that free subscription gets you the email updates so you don't miss your favorite speakers. But if y'all want to support what we're doing, I really appreciate it. It's a really amazing gesture. With that, I want to welcome back my friend Scott Szczepaniak from the U.S. Coast Guard. Scott is also an ACA instructor trainer and an avid paddler. He spends a lot of time working with entry-level paddlers and entry-level instructors. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am, Scott, for you coming to help me out tonight and so that we could talk about cold water paddling. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me, Andrea. And cold water paddling and cold water safety topics near and dear to my heart and critically important, because cold water is, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's potentially deadly to paddlers that are unaware and unprepared. Is it all right if I start with a quick story?
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to underscore that for just a second, though, because it's a big step from the time a paddler goes from being a warm water paddler to a 3-season paddler and then makes that leap to go to a year-round paddler. And there is some different gear and some different preparation and things you have to be aware of. So let's go right to it. I know you have a personal story from New Year's Day.
Yeah, New Year's Day, a few years back now, a glorious day in South Carolina on Lake Marion, which is in the center of the great state of South Carolina. A glorious day, 75 degrees on New Year's Day. Sun was out. No wind. It was fabulous. We were all pretty excited to go paddling. A group of friends with dry suits and wetsuits and prepared for the water, kind of splashing ourselves a little bit to keep cool because the air temperature was so nice. A fellow that we knew but we didn't really paddle with pulled up and started offloading his surf ski. We'll call him Surf Ski Sam. That wasn't his name, but Surf Ski Sam carried his boat down to the water and didn't ask for any help. Another pet peeve of ours. And he got in that surf ski in his shorts and his t-shirt, and he buckled his life jacket under the whatever rigging the ski had. A couple of the leaders of the group went over to him and said, "Hey, Surf Ski Sam, man, we're glad you're here. We are not going to paddle with you if you're not wearing a life jacket. And by the way, the water's deadly cold. It's in the mid 40s, um, and we've got some neoprene tops to lend you." "No, thanks. I'll be all right. And are you sure I have to wear my life jacket?" Dude, you are not paddling with us. We are not paddling with you if you don't put that life jacket on. So we paddled on Lake Marion, had a good, uneventful paddle, saw some loons. It was just a nice day. A couple hours later, we're heading back to the boat ramp where the vehicles were, and Surf Ski Sam was out in front going fast, showing off as they sometimes do, and he capsized. And a couple experienced rescue people in the group flew up to him, got him back in the boat, towed him in. I forgot how we got him in, but he hit the beach and he couldn't hardly stand. I got involved at that point. I helped him to his truck. I found the keys. He had set them on his tire. We got his truck heater going, and I sat in the truck with him. I took his wet clothes off, gave him a blanket and some towels. And after 10 minutes of chattering, he was finally able to say, "It was like a major league baseball player hit me in the chest with a fence post." I didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. A few more minutes went by and he said, "I would be dead right now if I wasn't wearing that life jacket and you guys didn't know how to rescue me and were not here to take care of me. I would be dead right now." He wasn't exaggerating. He clearly would have been dead had he not been wearing that life jacket, and he had not the help he needed to get back into the boat, back to the shoreline, and dried off and warmed up.
Well, having those personal experiences surely brings it home. I mean, these things that we know logically, we hear information, we're taught how to prevent, but that brings it home. And so let's dissect some of the takeaways for our audience and really think about what are the takeaways from an experience like that. I mean, number one, don't take the air temperature for granted. The water temperature is what you got to pay attention to, and it's deadly when it's in the winter.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And so the thing we talk about hypothermia, we talk about cotton kills, but that's all kind of secondary and tertiary. What's most important when we hit that 50-degree water, that 40-degree water, even in the 60s, you hit that water unexpectedly on your face and your head, and you gasp. It's the gasp reflex. Oh my God, it's cold. And you breathe water in. And if you're not wearing a life jacket, you're out of your boat. You go straight to the bottom. They used to call it sudden drowning syndrome. They didn't know exactly why it was happening, but they knew they would drown right away. So that's what we want to be. That's want to be cognizant of: wearing a beanie on your head, having proper insulation on your body, paddling with the group, and of course wearing that life jacket. You just don't sink if you're wearing a life jacket.
Yeah, so let's unpack that a little bit, because what I hear you saying as a thread is we need to make more conservative decisions on the day when we're doing cold water paddling. We don't go push our limits, right? We're going to stay a little closer to shore. That's not the day to go without the life jacket. You make sure you're dressed for immersion in the water, and we got to sometimes explain to people what that means.
Yeah, and I think dressing for immersion often could mean a wetsuit, a neoprene type material, a paddling shirt that's made of neoprene with a paddle jacket on top of it at a very bare minimum. A dry suit, if you're out in the middle of the lake practicing rescues, a dry suit is great, keeps you dry. It doesn't keep you warm. So we've got to remember that if you're buying that nice dry suit, it's designed to keep you dry. You need to layer it underneath with some fleece or some paddling shirts and neoprene type pants, some kind of insulator. So I liken it to putting your hand in a plastic bag and sticking up a baggie and sticking it into a bowl of ice water. Your hand gets cold awfully quick. It's dry, but it's awfully cold. So we have to remember going the dry suit route, which is fabulous. It's not inherently insulating.
Well, that's exactly right. And even if we unpack that a little bit, we tell our summer paddlers when they're dressing for the water temperature to start with a layering strategy. And you can go to the high end of a layering strategy depending on what kind of water temperatures you're talking about. You might have really thick pair of leggings, or you might have a wool sweater on over your rash guard, or a fleece or something that's going to repel water, right? Um, but really, you're moving pretty quickly to neoprene, to something that's going to insulate you while you're wet, and a windbreaker, some kind of a paddle jacket because what neoprene is great to insulate you in the water, but once you get out in the wind goes right through it. So you got to have a paddle jacket.
Exactly.
And then once you upgrade from that strategy, now you're talking Gore-Tex, you're talking dry suit, and there are more affordable options for that than there have ever been before. So, talk to your community, try some different products, but take the cold water seriously.
Yeah, I think the dressing is critically important, and also critically important is paddling with a group of people, not solo, on that cold winter day, and paddling with a group of people that are not all going to capsize when you capsize, but that you've paddled with and had some rescue practice together. Those cold water days are not the days to push your limits crossing the lake or crossing the harbor. They're good days to strategize and stay close to the shoreline and avoid those kind of more hazardous areas. And then in case of an unexpected capsize, you yourself or your friends, that hypothermia kit, some towel to dry the person off, get those wet clothes off, get some fleece out of the dry bag. You can buy it cheap at the thrift shop. Get that double extra large Columbia windbreaker on, and that thermos of hot chocolate, and boy, they'll be a lot happier recovering from that capsize.
Yeah, if you're a frequent paddler and you're doing 3 and 4 season paddling, make a trip to the thrift store this winter. Go buy a 3X fleece or a 3X wool sweater and a paddle jacket, a windbreaker, a water repellent jacket of some sort that would fit anybody. Throw it in a dry bag. Have it in your winter paddling kit.
It goes without saying, but it's worth repeating over and over again. Wear your life jacket 365 days a year. Wear your inherently buoyant life jacket if you're paddling in cold water. The inflatable life jackets, sometimes they're appropriate. They do have limitations. One limitation is the manufacturers say don't use these in air temperatures of less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a limitation. I know that the kayak fishing community often likes manually only inflatable life jackets so they don't go off unexpectedly when you get splashed catching a fish. To activate those, you have to reach down and pull that tag to jerk to inflate. When you're panicking in cold water, you want up. You want air. The most counterintuitive thing to do is reach down and jerk to inflate that yellow tag that's hanging around your waist. So certainly inflatables, they're great, but they've got some limitation. I think cold water paddling is one of those times where we want to really look to the inherently buoyant PFDs.
Well, and I know that you gave me some links. We put some links in the show notes for people so that they've got resources right there at their fingertips. One of them was an article written by Moulton Avery on dressing for water temperature and all the different kinds of gear that you can choose among to be in your kit. And another one was a link to Moulton's National Center for Cold Water Safety that has just a ton of resources. So if you are a leader in your family or in your paddling group or in your club for something that's going to be taking folks out on cold water, use these resources, guys. Take advantage of the conservative decisions that are in front of you, and make sure everybody's coming home smiling.
Yeah, and I think it's what bears in mind to summarize some of the things we talked about. Wear that life jacket, paddle with a group of competent people, minimize the hazards. Realize that hypothermia is not the killer. That cold water, if you don't gasp and drown because you're wearing your life jacket, quickly you lose manual dexterity and you can't activate a VHF radio. You can't turn on your PLB because you lose that dexterity in your fingers. It's just short time after that, you lose physical strength to climb back into your kayak, to climb back onto a rescue boat. Um, so paddle safe, paddle close to the shore, dress for immersion, and come back happy, smiling.
Yeah, let's all come home smiling and do it again.
And have the hot chocolate in front of the fireplace to warm up at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, Scott, that's our time. Everybody, I want to encourage you, join me here again live on Wednesday night, February 4th. I'm going to have Jeff Moog from the Water Sports Foundation. And if you are looking for any sort of photos, video, visuals, things to use for your business or your club, or to promote your education, to promote paddle sports education, to promote paddling safely, you're not going to want to miss this one. Jeff's going to tell you about some great resources that are available to you. And I'm so excited to have him on. He's such a great resource anyway. Special appreciation as always to Jerry Vandiver, our songwriter friend that allows us to use his music during our opening. And don't forget, go sign up on Substack. Get those email updates so that you won't miss your favorite speakers. Thank you again, Scott.
Great. Thanks for having us.